Title: Colors of the Heart. Maya stood behind the counter of her tiny art gallery, arranging postcards with trembling fingers. Outside, snow fell in thick flakes, blanketing the mountain town in quiet serenity. Inside, her paintings told stories she'd never dared to speak aloud. Vivid sunsets over silent lakes, faceless figures reaching out for something unseen, and flowers blooming in defiance of the cold. The bell over the door jingled, startling her. She looked up to see a tall man, bundled in a thick coat, shaking snow off his hair. His presence felt like a gust of wind, warm and alive. He smiled, and it was as if the room brightened. "Sorry to barge in," he said, his voice deep and cheerful. "Didn't expect a gallery here. Thought I'd take shelter before the storm gets worse." Maya nodded, her words caught somewhere between her mind and her lips. He wandered the gallery, pausing before her favorite painting, a lone figure standing at the edge of a stormy sea, their hand outstretched toward a distant, golden light. "This one," he murmured, "it feels like hope." Her heart skipped. No one had ever described it so perfectly. "It's about reaching for something you're not sure you can have," she said softly. He turned, his eyes meeting hers. "Did you paint it?" She nodded. "I'm Arjun," he said, extending his hand. "And you?" "Maya," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Over the next few days, the storm lingered, and so did Arjun. He returned to the gallery each day, asking questions about her paintings, her process, her life. At first, Maya hesitated, her answers guarded. But Arjun's curiosity wasn't intrusive, it was genuine, like he was piecing together a puzzle only she could complete. One evening, he invited her for a walk. The snow had stopped, leaving the town under a blanket of moonlit white. They strolled through the quiet streets, their breath visible in the crisp air. "You know," Arjun said, "I came here for a story. Travel journalism is my thing. But I think I found a better one here." Maya laughed nervously. "There's nothing special here." He stopped and faced her. "You're wrong. Your paintings, they're special. And you, Maya, are extraordinary." Her cheeks flushed, and she looked away, unsure how to respond. No one had ever looked at her like that, as if she were something precious. Days turned into weeks, and Arjun became a fixture in her world. They explored the snowy woods, shared quiet dinners in her cozy apartment, and talked late into the night. Slowly, Maya's walls began to crumble. With Arjun, she felt seen, heard, understood. But then came the day she'd been dreading. Arjun sat across from her, his face troubled. "I got a new assignment," he said. "It's in Italy. I leave next week." Her chest tightened. "Oh," was all she managed. "I want to stay," he said, his voice earnest. "But this job, it's my dream, Maya." She nodded, her heart sinking. "You should go." "And what about us?" he asked. "Do you think there could be an US, even with the distance?" Maya hesitated. She had spent so long protecting her heart, keeping it safe behind layers of solitude. Could she risk it now for him? "I don't know," she whispered. "I'm afraid." "So am I," he admitted. "But I think some things are worth the risk." The week passed too quickly. On the day of his departure, Arjun stopped by the gallery one last time. He handed her a small notebook. "What's this?" she asked. "It's for you," he said. "Write to me. About anything. I want to stay connected, no matter where I am." She nodded, tears stinging her eyes. "I'll miss you." "I'll miss you more," he said, pulling her into a tight embrace. As the months passed, Maya poured her heart into the notebook, sending letters filled with sketches, thoughts, and little stories of her days. Arjun wrote back, his words brimming with tales of faraway places and how much he longed to return to her. And one day he did. It was spring when he walked into her gallery again, the world blooming with new life. He held a canvas in his hands, a painting of two figures standing together beneath a starry sky, their hands entwined. "You inspired me," he said, his voice steady, but his eyes filled with emotion. "But I couldn't do this without you, Maya. I'm home now, if you'll have me." Maya's heart swelled, and for the first time in years, She didn't feel afraid. She smiled through her tears and whispered, "Welcome home." And together, they began to paint a new story, one filled with color, hope, and love. Moral of the story: true love requires vulnerability, courage, and the willingness to take risks. While individual dreams and fears may challenge the bond, love flourishes when two hearts find a way to grow together, embracing both the uncertainties and the beauty of life's journey. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more stories.